Prince Andrew is once again at the center of a royal storm. His luxurious home, the Royal Lodge, a 30-room mansion on the Windsor estate, now hangs in the balance. For 2 decades, Andrew has lived there rent-free under a deal that's now sparking outrage. King Charles has made it clear the arrangement can't continue, but there's a catch. Andrew can't legally be evicted. So why is the king so determined to push him out? And if that happens, where will Andrew and Sarah Ferguson go next? Let's dive into the story shaking the royal estate. Back in 2003, Prince Andrew struck an extraordinary deal with the Crown Estate. He paid $1 million up front, spent $7.5 million refurbishing the property, and signed a 75-year lease. His rent? Just 1 peppercorn a year, if demanded. That means he's lived in a royal mansion for virtually nothing since 2003. If he leaves early, the estate must refund him part of his original investment, around $557,000 if he moves before June 2026, but that amount decreases each year until it hits 0 by 2028. On paper, the deal is perfectly legal. In the real world, it's a PR nightmare. Sources say the king's patience has run out. He's already stripped Andrew of his titles, honors, and duties, and now wants Royal Lodge vacated, quietly and permanently. For months, his advisors have met daily with Andrew's team to negotiate his exit. At first, Andrew refused to move, reminding the palace he still has over 50 years left on the lease. But within Buckingham Palace, the feeling has shifted. Even those once sympathetic now agree. Andrew's time at Royal Lodge is nearly over. The king reportedly told aides the issue must be resolved before it becomes another scandal. And for Charles, that means ending decades of embarrassment once and for all. Then comes the question everyone's asking. Why isn't Andrew paying rent, and where did all the money come from? Reports suggest Andrew never received a large inheritance from the Queen Mother, leaving many to wonder how he managed to fund such lavish renovations in 2005. And now, with the Crown Estate answering to the Treasury, the palace can't use taxpayer funds to buy him out. If Andrew is to receive more than what's legally owed, the payout would need to come directly from King Charles's private funds, a move the palace wants to avoid at all costs. Money, more than anything, has become the center of this crisis. If Andrew leaves, where does he go? One option, move him into a smaller property on the king's private estates, Sandringham or Balmoral, rent-free, but far from London and Windsor. But insiders say Andrew has no interest in living in the Highlands or Norfolk. He wants to remain close to his daughters, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, who live in Windsor and London. A smaller Windsor home would mean paying market rent, something Andrew reportedly cannot afford. And moving him into Windsor Castle or Buckingham Palace would look like a reward, not punishment. A PR disaster the palace won't risk. For now, every option comes with political and personal fallout. Still living at Royal Lodge alongside her ex-husband, Sarah Ferguson has called it her sanctuary. She's refused to comment publicly, but palace insiders say her presence makes negotiations more complicated. If Andrew leaves, will she go too? Or will the king offer her separate accommodation? For now, Charles is focused on Andrew first, Fergie later, but the reality is their finances, image, and fate are completely intertwined. The palace has already begun sending quiet signals. Earlier this year, Prince Andrew's banner was removed from St. George's Chapel, where it once hung among other Knights of the Garter. His public privileges are gone. And privately, his access, invitations, and influence have all but disappeared. The king's message is clear. Andrew is out, but he refuses to leave. Just days ago, a rumored royal announcement sent the media into chaos. Reporters flooded Windsor, expecting a statement from the palace, only for Buckingham Palace to suddenly deny that any announcement was coming. So what happened? Was something planned and cancelled at the last moment? Or was it a deliberate test to gauge reaction? The palace won't say, but insiders believe the king may have been preparing to announce Andrew's removal before pulling back at the 11th hour. Whatever the truth, that false alarm has only intensified speculation. The problem is legal, not personal. Royal Lodge is owned by the Crown Estate, which answers to the Treasury, not the king. That means the monarch can't simply evict his brother. The lease protects Andrew unless he breaks its terms, and the Crown Estate cannot justify public money to settle or override the deal. So Charles is stuck, balancing law, optics, and loyalty. He can apply pressure, remove titles, and restrict privileges. But he can't legally change the contract. Royal Lodge has become more than a house. It's a symbol of the old monarchy. Grand, untouchable, insulated from reality. To the public, it's a mansion for a man who no longer works for the crown. To Andrew, it's his last connection to royal identity. He believes he's invested enough to deserve it, and that leaving would erase his place in royal history. But to King Charles and Prince William, Royal Lodge represents everything the monarchy is trying to move past: excess, scandal, and entitlement. The optics grow worse with each passing week. Behind palace walls, the endgame is taking shape. Sources say King Charles and Prince William both agree. This must be settled soon. The king reportedly told aides, "We cannot modernize the monarchy while Royal Lodge remains a scandal." He's determined to resolve the issue quietly, ideally, with Andrew stepping down voluntarily and accepting a smaller, private residence. But Andrew remains defiant, convinced the palace owes him more compensation, and unwilling to give up the one thing that still feels royal. For 2 decades, Royal Lodge was a symbol of stability for Prince Andrew. Now it's a liability, both to him and to the monarchy. Even if he manages to hold on legally, the moral and political battle is already lost. His royal privileges are gone, his influence erased, and his reputation beyond repair. For King Charles, the mission is simple: protect the crown, whatever it cost his brother. And for Andrew, the clock is ticking. The refund window closes in just a few years. After that, he'll have nothing, not even leverage. Royal Lodge once represented the heart of Windsor's royal life. Today, it's a reminder of how far the House of York has fallen. The king wants closure. The palace wants silence. And the nation wants answers. Will Prince Andrew finally walk away? Or will King Charles be forced to take unprecedented action against his own brother? Let us know what you think in the comments. Should Andrew and Fergie be allowed to stay? Or is it time for the monarchy to move on? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for the next update in this royal showdown.